Hi, it's Aaron, and I'm going to create a quad mirror macro. I've got a claw here for my gem, and I want 4 of these in each of the corners. Now I can use my mirror command and mirror across the y-axis, select both of those, rerun the command, and mirror across the x-axis. Now I'm quite lazy, I just want one button which is going to do that automatically for me. Here's one I prepared earlier. I'm going to select my first object and use a quad mirror macro. So let's jump in and see how we do this. In a previous video, I've created a macro which allows me to mirror either across the Y or the X axes, and I'm going to build on that macro. First thing, I want my macro editor. So I'm going to come to Window, Panels, Macro Editor. If I go up to my previously created macro, I can hold down Shift and right click, and we can see what we have here, what the command is. So I'm going to take the first one, which is a mirror Y. I'm going to Control C to copy that and paste that in my macro editor. This macro starts with an exclamation mark, which is going to terminate any previously running commands. It's then followed with an underscore, which is going to allow a different language version of Rhino to run this English command. And then the command itself is mirror space Y. And the Y is to mirror it across the Y axis. Let's get rid of 3 of these claws, select my first claw and run this macro. And you can see we've mirrored across the Y axis. I then want to have this claw on the left selected. So I'm going to use a command SelLast, all one word. So let's run this again. And you can see that this claw on the left is now selected. So with that left one selected, I need to run a mirror. And this time we're going to mirror across the X axis or from top to bottom. So let's get rid of this. We need to have our first claw pre-selected before we run this macro. Let's press play. And you can see that we've now got 3 of our 4 claws. And you might be able to guess, I want another SelLast command to select this claw here. And then this is going to be mirrored across the Y axis. Mirror space Y. Okay, let's get rid of those 2. Select our first claw and run this macro. And you can see our quad macro is working. The only thing I want to do now is not have our claw here selected. So I'm going to run a Sel for select, none. Okay, let's delete those, select our first object and run our completed macro. And that's working perfectly. So the great thing about this is with record history enabled, I can move our parent object, which is going to be our top right in this case, and all of my other objects are going to update as we do that. Let's make a button for this up in our toolbar. I'm going to select all of our macro, Control C. Coming up to our toolbar, I'm going to right click and say I want a new button. This is going to be a new command, press next, and the name is going to be quad mirror. The command is going to be what we copied from our macro editor. I'm just going to press next and then finish. And you can see up the top here, we've got our quad mirror macro. Again, let's select 3 of those and delete. Select our first object and run our quad mirror macro. And that's working perfectly. Now, it doesn't have to be the top right. We can run that macro from any one object in any of our 4 spaces here. So for example, this is top left. That's going to work just as well. So that's going to conclude this video. I hope you found it useful. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.